Gonna try something different today. Got my like tripod that I use when I shoot my back porch videos. I'm like, can kind of carry this and be handheld. Man, the wind is blowing. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Florida. You can see this little creek over here. Now this one, I have not seen any alligators in this one. Man, it's alligator mating season. It's the Sunset Strip of alligators. It's the Sunset Strip here in Florida. The gators are running wild. And I saw a clip someone posted the other day of basically a gator, two gators, like climbing, trying to get into a house. It's literally like the Sunset Strip out here, man. It's lunacy, madness, mayhem. But man, I'm glad to be out in this sunshine. I'm glad to be out here spreading the message that we have on this channel and sharing some of the good vibes. Now, hoping the wind dies down a little bit once we get into the nature trail and the audio will be better on this. But man, here's the deal, man. I don't let anything stop me in life. And I don't want you to feel that as well. Ace had a little accident in the house today, did not notice it. And he kind of messed up my good pair of walking shoes. But you know what? I left to put the shoes outside and I said, maybe I can walk it off on this trail. Here's the deal, man. We can't let the small inconveniences of life distract us from what we want to get done. We can't allow little mishaps, little droppings in our life to affect how things go. And that is a powerful message, man, because each day, and I know everybody out there has got their own issues and things going on, but man, now here we go in here. You can hear it's like cicadas or something going on. I'll probably have to pull all of this noise out in the audio, but I know people really enjoy seeing these scenic views, and this is it's a cool path, man. And here's the deal. Path that we're on this channel, the path that I'm on right now, helping people is the greatest gift that I can do, man. The greatest thing that I can do is this. And you know what? I love playing guitar. I love playing music. Would I like to someday have a sports car? Would I like to someday have a Corvette or a Porsche or something like that? Would I have liked it if I would have been a multi-millionaire and I could have told everybody, see, I told you so. See, I told you so. I think that's why a lot of us that got into the music business did so. I think we had so many people telling us that we can't do it. We had so many people in life saying, it's just pipe dreams. You'll never make it, bro. You're not going to make it. And so we got on this path in the music business because people said we couldn't do it. It's the same thing when I deal with my child and I tell her I don't like you watching that. And she'll figure out a way to get the remote and she'll change the channel or she'll do exactly what I tell her I don't want her to do. I don't know, man. It's because look, I've talked about it on the channel, man. When I go to my doctor, he'd say, you can't play guitar for a living. And when I go to my dentist, he'd tell me the same thing. And look, man, there's a lot of truth, and they weren't trying to hurt me. by telling me these things. What they were telling me is that it was going to be very difficult. Now look, there's older guys like us that watch this channel. The reality is we were maybe the last generation that had rock star dreams, that had, maybe a way that all these things could have become reality. I think it's a harder thing now. I don't know if the same definition of what we wanted, is attainable, because back in those days it was based on actual real live playing. Now look, one thing that I did get to do is being able to tour and play for 20,000 people a night. And that was an amazing experience. And let me tell you something, when I went out there, in my mind, it was 1988 again. And I went out and did all the things that I thought I should have done in my 20s when I wasn't given that shot. So while a lot of guys would sit on the bus and scroll or swipe on some app, imagine that, playing a stadium or an arena, and instead of just walking out, and coming into the crowd, because look, as a sideman in a touring act, you're not going to get swarmed if you go out in the crowd. Now, you got to watch it. You got to watch yourself. But it allows you the ability to go out and mingle with the crowd, right? And look, if you're single and you want to date, man, I told my friends, I met my wife on the road. And my wife's obviously younger than me. That's why we were able to have a child. It's why I'm able to have a 4-year-old. And because I was open, to the prospects, I was willing to go out and meet people. And man, those younger guys, they didn't know that this was the greatest experience of their life. And after they'd get done with the show, they'd sit on the bus and stare at their phones. They'd sit there and stare at their phones rather than going out and meeting people, talking to people. Because man, that was the greatest experience of all of this. That was what made it all worthwhile, is getting out there and meeting people. Not just playing the show and collecting a paycheck. Collecting a paycheck was certainly nice. But man, you can collect a paycheck doing anything in life. You can collect a paycheck, working at, 7-Eleven or something. I mean, and so when you're in a unique situation like that, and understand that if you're playing bars and you're a single guy and stuff like that, man, you know what? You are a rock star. You are different than everybody else that's just in that bar knocking them back. And that is the amazing thing, man. People don't realize how good they have it. And you've got to realize each moment in life is a blessing. Very lucky if you get to play music and make any money at it, because I just saw the video the other day of Rick Beato. He's sitting with Tim Pierce. They're talking about all the studios that used to be in Los Angeles, and now most of them are gone. People aren't recording music the same way. A lot of people aren't using real musicians. AI is starting to take over. And man, you know what? It's just a matter of time before less and less real musicians are going to be on stage. I've seen it in groups that I've played with. It comes down to budgets. And when they squeeze the budgets, because the cost of everything to do it is so much more. The reality is this, man. The reality is they're going to cut budgets. And how do they cut budgets? Well, having less humans on stage, less people. So there's less opportunity now. There's less studio opportunity. There's less live playing opportunity. And you know what? Somebody also said, a guy that I really enjoy hearing from on the channel, I'll just say his first name, Dwayne. Dwayne was saying, man, this has been going on for a long time, replacing humans with AI. And it started with what? Drum machine, right? And drummers started getting really worried when they realized that, hey, they're going to use this machine on the session. And guys like Kenny Aronoff and guys like Stuart Copeland are like, wow, well, if you're going to use a drum machine, I'm going to be the one that programs it. So they would learn what they could about the Linn drum or different things, man. Steely Dan once paid a guy $100,000 to build a digital drum machine that would play perfect parts because they were such sticklers for perfection in the drum tracks that they realized we can't get a human to do this. We can't get a human to play this stuff perfect every time. And so as the drive for perfection and saving a buck and the less and less real musicians are able to work because they're being replaced by AI. And of course that guy honked just to be a little douche weasel. But here's the deal, man. As more and more people get replaced, there's less and less opportunity. So those guys that were sitting on the bus staring at their phone, that was the time to have the time of their lives. It wasn't just a paycheck, man. It wasn't just, playing the show and sitting there like a bump on a log. I could not get along with those guys because I realized by being older and getting to play for 10 or 20,000 people, I realized, man, it took me so many years to get to this point, and I was going to enjoy every single moment of it, even if it was to my detriment. Because, man, that's a tough road to hoe when I was like 43 years old or 44 years old. That is a tough road to hoe playing 130 shows a year. Partying 130 days out of the year. And then once you get on that party train, it's hard to get off, right? It's hard to get off. And you're partying like it's 1988, except it's 2008 or 2013. Your body is not able to recover as quickly. But man, I'm thankful that I got out there, I got to do it, and I realized how valuable that experience was. And I went out and I met people, which eventually led to me meeting my wife, and leading to the life I have now, a very lucky position that I'm in, that I was able to escape from the prison planet and realize the value of life, to realize that I could travel on a different path, that I could try something different. I didn't have to just, I started realizing, man, I was getting old. I was the old guy on gigs all of a sudden. I started realizing, man, how much longer can I do this? I don't want to be the guy that's dragging ass on the gig. I don't want to be the guy that's unhip anymore and sounding like an old dude on the gig. Now I think there's a gator over there, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna mess with him because he thinks this is the Sunset Strip. And if I don't take his flyer, yeah, that's a gator. He's gonna, if I don't accept his flyer, he's gonna want a fist fight. I don't really feel like fist fighting like we used to do on the Sunset Strip. Man, I'm thankful for everybody that tunes into this channel. And I'm thankful for the experiences that I got to have. And I'm thankful to be still alive. Man, I appreciate everybody that tunes in. And it's another beautiful day here in Florida. So I'm going to continue on my journey. I want everybody watching to continue on your path as well.